I wanted to do a bit of TA. And you might say, well, what is TA? And in counselling terms, it's called transactional analysis. I'll read you the first sentence in the book because I think it sums it up better than I can say. Transactional analysis is a theory of personality and a systematic psychotherapy for personal growth and personal change. It's a bit of a mouthful. But how I got into that was, after Pete's dad died, I found that I was doing my best for him. Obviously, like you do, don't you? You know, you want to help. It switched itself off. It often does this. It gets to a certain point and then it's gone. So, excuse me. Anyway, yes. So there I was, helping Pete through grieving for the loss of his dad. And I found, I was very close to his dad, very close. And I went to the doctors and I said, I'm feeling a little bit low. This was a long time ago, 21 years ago. Counselling wasn't really like it is now. Anyway, he said, I'll send you off for some counselling. You can have 6 sessions on the National Health. I'd never heard of counselling. I said, what is it? He said, go along and see. Anyway, I struck lucky with my counsellor. Struck lucky. And he practiced TA. And at the end of that session, I had a few more. I paid privately because, I needed a few more. But at the end, woo, I felt brilliant. And I thought, I'm going to go to shall I train? And I wanted to do TA. So I found it very helpful over the last 21 years. So I thought I'd do a little bit with you. Now, the way I teach it is in a visual way, because like you say, well, like I say, actually, not you, it can be a little bit tongue-tying, can't it? So I've got my little group of helpers, and I thought I'd introduce them to you one at a time. And this week, it's going to be her. Busy bee, isn't she? And she, you know what? When people say, would you do this for me? Or would you do that for me? She always says yes, straight away. Always. Yes. Without thinking. Without thinking, have I got the resources? Am I up to it? Do I want to? Yes. And she makes a rod for her own back. And she needs help, doesn't she? Now, she's the nurturing parent. What we call in TA, the nurturing parent. Because in TA, think back over the past 24 hours of your life. Were there moments when you acted and thought and felt just as you did when you were a child? Were there moments when you acted and thought and felt just as your parents had taught you to? Just when your parent figures or other parent figures, maybe school teachers, aunts or uncles, grown-ups, let's put grown-ups, when you found yourself behaving, thinking and feeling in ways you copied long ago from grown-ups. Were there still other occasions in that 24 hours when your behaviour, thoughts and feelings were simply a direct here and now response to what was happening around you at the moment? On these occasions, you responded as the grown-up you are now, rather than dipping back into your childhood. So we have a model, and we say with that model, parent, adult, and child. And so parent are behaviours, thoughts and feelings copied from parents or parent figures. Adult, behaviours, thoughts and feelings which are direct responses to the here and now. And child, behaviours, thoughts and feelings replayed from childhood. So the child is replayed from childhood and the parent is copied from childhood, and the adult is the here and now. So this lady, the parent, she's the nurturing parent. She is going straight back to her childhood when she should or must always help. It would be so wrong. She'd feel so guilty if she didn't help. She's copying. She learnt that when she was a child. I must. That would be so wrong not to help. Nurturing parent. We call that the negative nurturing parent. Because there is another nurturing parent. I'll show you her. I was only going to show you that one, but I can't resist. I'll show you her. Unfortunately, her chair broke, so she's sitting on a toilet, so I hope you'll forgive me. But here she is. Yeah, same person, but she has to say yes, otherwise she thinks it's wrong. She's copying that from her thoughts and feelings and behaviours when she was young. She's copying that from the grown-ups she knew. This is the nurturing parent that we call the negative and the positive nurturing parent. Now she says, if you need a hand, just ask. She's here. If you need a hand, just ask. I'm here. So let's just suppose you're the kind of person that's often asking for help. And you say, oh, I want to get the train back to London this afternoon. I'm not quite sure where to go or what time it is. Oh, says she, I'll look it up for you. Yeah, I've got my phone here. Oh, yes, I've got Trainline. I'll look it up. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. They're on time. It's not. She's finding it all out. She has this compulsion before she's even thought about it to do it. This one says, oh, I use Trainline. That might help. If you have any trouble, just ask. So she's still there. She's still nurturing parent, but she's not weighing herself down with this compulsion, with this feeling that I must do it or I'll feel guilty. If you need a hand, just ask. Now you think about it. This one is crediting that other person with some power. This one is taking the power away from that other person. She's saying, well, you can't really do it. You're not good enough. You don't know how to. I'll do it for you. When you think about it, this one is saying, you can do it. You've got the power. But if you need a hand, just ask. So both nurturing parent, but we want to leave this one behind and use this part of ourselves. This one, we're thinking as adults. This one, we're copying what we were taught as children. So there we are. I'll leave it there and I'll talk about it next time. But if you can, have a little think, and if you've got any questions, just leave them in the box below. I'll be happy to answer them.